If you think natural flavors means someone squeezed a strawberry, waved it over your cereal, and bottled the aroma like a Disney fairy, you have been scammed by two words. Because natural flavors is not a promise of healthy, it's not a promise of simple, and it's definitely not a promise of you're going to know what's in this. It's basically a legal way to say, we added flavor chemicals, we just don't want to tell you which ones. Here's what natural flavors actually means in the real world. The flavor molecules started life in something that exists in nature, and their job in the food is flavor, not nutrition. That's it. That's the whole trick. Natural describes the source category, not the processing, not the quality, and not whether it belongs in your daily diet. And the reason it's not what you think is because the path from nature to your snack is not a cute little farm story. It's a factory story. Natural. Flavors are usually made by taking a raw material like a fruit, spice, herb, bark, dairy, meat, yeast, or a fermentation product, and then pulling out the flavor compounds using industrial methods. Distillation, extraction, heating, enzymes, fermentation. Sometimes all of them in a chain. You don't get a clean, stable strawberry taste that works in a shelf-stable protein bar just by crushing strawberries and hoping for the best. Think of it like this. Your food brand doesn't want a strawberry. They want strawberry that survives shipping, storage, freezing, baking, and your roommate leaving the bag open. Real fruit flavor is fragile. It changes batch to batch. It degrades in heat. It reacts with other ingredients. It costs money. So companies buy engineered consistency. That's what natural flavors are. Consistency in a bottle. Now the fun part. The phrase sounds like it's describing something wholesome, but the inside of natural flavors is usually a blend. Not one ingredient, a blend. Because most flavor experiences are built like a chord in music, not a single note. Natural strawberry flavor might include multiple molecules that together read as strawberry to your brain. Some of those molecules might be found in strawberries, but they might also show up in other plants. And here's the thing people hate hearing. The exact same flavor molecule can be natural or artificial depending on where it came from. Same molecule, same taste, different paperwork. So when people say, natural flavors are safer than artificial flavors, slow down. That is not automatically true. Natural does not mean gentle. Nature makes arsenic. Nature makes poison ivy. Nature makes caffeine that can mess you up. Natural is not a morality badge. It just means the starting point was a natural source, and the purpose is flavor. And yes, that natural source can be plant, animal, or microbial. That means natural. Flavors can come from things vegetarians wouldn't expect, or from dairy, or from eggs, or from meat-derived materials. It's not guaranteed, but it's allowed, which is why natural flavors is a nightmare ingredient for people with strict dietary rules. This is the moment where someone goes, wait, so natural flavors could be anything? Not anything, but enough that the label stops being useful, because flavor recipes are treated like intellectual property. Companies don't want competitors copying them, so they get to list natural flavors as a single ingredient category instead of showing you the full recipe. That's the whole point of the phrase. It's a privacy curtain. Now let's talk about how these flavors are actually made, because this is where the fantasy dies. One common method is extraction. You take a natural material, you pull out flavor compounds, sometimes with alcohol, sometimes with other food-safe solvents. Then you remove the solvent, or you don't fully remove it, depending on the process and legal limits. The point is not that you're drinking solvent. The point is, natural does not mean untouched. Then you have distillation. Heat it, capture the volatile compounds, separate them, concentrate them. This is how you get essential oils and aromatic fractions. Again, not a kitchen craft story. It's precision separation. Then you have enzymolysis, basically using enzymes to break down proteins or other materials to create savory flavor notes. That's where things like protein hydrolysates show up in the natural flavors world. It's also part of how some meaty, brothy, savory notes get built without you seeing a big, obvious ingredient name. Then you have roasting and heating reactions. You can create flavors by controlled heating of natural ingredients. This is part of how natural smoke flavor and certain cooked notes are made. It's not a conspiracy, it's chemistry. And then you have fermentation, which is the coolest one and also the one marketing people love to abuse. Fermentation-based flavors can involve microbes producing flavor compounds. That can mean a flavor molecule produced by yeast or bacteria, then isolated and used in a product. The source is microbial, the molecule is the same. And in many cases, it can qualify as natural flavor, depending on how it's made and how the rules are interpreted. So when someone tells you natural flavors are just real food, you can laugh politely and keep walking. Now let's tackle the biggest reason natural flavors exist: cost and control. Imagine you run a massive snack brand. You need your strawberry yogurt to taste identical in Melbourne, Miami, and Manchester. You need it to taste the same in summer and winter. You need it to taste the same even when strawberries are awful this year. Natural flavors give you that. And they let you use less real ingredient. That's the part they don't put on the front label in big, cute letters. Because if you can get strawberry impact from a tiny amount of natural flavoring, you can reduce the amount of expensive strawberry puree, or the amount of vanilla bean, or whatever ingredient is volatile and costly. It's not always a scam, but it's how the system works. Now, quick reality check. Are natural flavors unsafe? In the amounts used in food, they're generally treated as safe under the rules that govern flavor ingredients. But generally safe is not the same as transparent, and it's definitely not the same as healthy. Natural flavors add essentially zero nutritional value. They're there to make processed food more appealing. That means they show up most in foods that already have issues like too much sugar, too much salt, or too much ultra-processing. The natural flavors aren't the main nutritional problem. They're the mask that makes the product easier to overeat. Now here's the part that makes people mad. Natural flavors doesn't guarantee you're getting flavor from the thing pictured on the front. You see a strawberry on the package. You assume strawberry. The label says natural flavors. That can legally include flavors derived from natural sources that create a strawberry impression without being mostly strawberry. Your brain tastes the note and fills in the story. That's why the food industry loves flavor houses. Flavorists can build strawberry like a sound engineer builds a song. Bright top notes, jammy middle, creamy finish. You don't need a field of strawberries for that. You need a lab, a palette of molecules, and a budget. And before you go full conspiracy, let's keep it honest. Sometimes it's just practical. Real fruit can be inconsistent and can react badly in formulas. Natural flavors can improve stability and reduce waste. But it can also be used to mislead you. So how do you spot when it's being used as a mask? Here are the common label games. Game 1. Made with natural flavors. That's not a quality claim, it's a vibe claim. It tells you almost nothing about what the product actually contains. You could have a product that is ultra-processed, packed with sugar, and still made with natural flavors. Congratulations, you bought a marketing sentence. Game 2. Vanilla that isn't vanilla. If the ingredient list says natural flavors, but doesn't specifically say vanilla extract, vanilla bean, or something clearly tied to vanilla, you might be getting vanilla-like flavor built from other natural sources. Again, not automatically evil, but it's not the romantic version you pictured. Game 3. Strawberry flavored versus strawberry. If it says strawberry as an ingredient, you're more likely getting the real thing. If it's strawberry flavored, you're often in flavor-built territory. The exact wording matters. Game 4. No artificial flavors. People treat this like a health halo, but no artificial flavors can still mean we used natural flavors, and natural flavors can be heavily processed and can still be part of junk food. That claim is not a nutrition upgrade, it's a category switch. Now, there's also a big regional twist here that makes the confusion worse. In the US, natural flavors is a broad bucket. In parts of Europe, the term natural, tied to a specific named source, is often more tightly controlled. For example, the way natural strawberry flavoring can be described can depend on how much of the flavor actually comes from strawberry versus other natural sources. So the same marketing phrase can be more strict in one region and more flexible in another. Translation: a product can look similar across countries, but the flavor labeling rules behind the scenes can be different. That's why you'll sometimes see phrases like natural X flavor with other natural flavors in some markets. It's basically admitting, yes, there's some X, but we built the rest from other sources. Now, let's talk about what natural flavors can include besides the actual flavor molecules, because this is where people get blindsided. A finished flavor is usually not just flavor. It's flavor plus carriers. Because those aroma chemicals need to be diluted, stabilized, and made easy to dose. Otherwise, the manufacturer would be trying to measure microscopic quantities and getting inconsistent taste. So natural flavors can include carriers like alcohol, oils, gums, or other food-grade materials to help them blend into the product and stay stable. The actual flavor impact compounds can be a tiny fraction of the total mixture. This is why you can't treat natural flavors as one simple ingredient. It's a formulation. Now, what about allergies and dietary restrictions? This matters because natural flavors can be derived from sources that matter to people, and the label usually won't tell you those sources. Major allergens are a different story. If a natural flavor contains a major allergen, labeling laws often require declaration. But that doesn't cover every sensitivity, and it doesn't help people avoiding certain animal sources for religious or ethical reasons, unless the brand voluntarily discloses. So if you're vegan, vegetarian, halal, kosher, or you have uncommon sensitivities, natural flavors is a question mark. Sometimes it's plant-derived, sometimes it's microbial, sometimes it can be animal-derived. The label alone often won't answer that. Now, let's answer the thing you're probably thinking right now. Okay, so should we avoid anything with natural flavors? Not necessarily. If you try to remove natural flavors from your life entirely, you'll end up eating like a monk who hates joy, or you'll spend your entire paycheck on tiny, clean label products that still find new ways to disappoint you. The smarter move is this: treat natural flavors as a transparency flag, not a danger alarm. It tells you this product's taste is being engineered, and the exact recipe is being hidden. That's not always bad, but it does mean you should not assume the flavor comes from the picture on the front. So here's the practical way to handle it, without spiraling. If you want maximum transparency, choose products where the flavor source is named clearly. Vanilla extract, lemon juice, cocoa, cinnamon, strawberry puree, not natural flavors. If you don't mind engineered flavor, but you care about overall diet quality, focus on the bigger picture. Natural flavors are not the main reason a soda is bad for you. The sugar is. Natural flavors are not the main reason a snack is a problem. The whole ultra-processed package is. If you have strict dietary needs, look for third-party certifications or brands that disclose flavor sources. And if it matters a lot, contact the manufacturer. Yes, it's annoying, but the label often won't save you. Now let's talk about the emotional part. The reason this ingredient irritates people is because it feels like a trick. You're being asked to trust a mystery blend. You're being asked to believe natural means something good, while the company keeps the details secret. That's why people feel lied to. And they're not totally wrong. Because food labeling is not built to maximize your knowledge. It's built to meet minimum legal requirements while protecting companies and their formulas. That's the business. You're not reading a full recipe. You're reading a legally acceptable summary. So when you see natural flavors, the correct mental translation is, this product contains flavor compounds derived from natural sources, processed and blended into a proprietary formula, and we're not telling you more than we have to. That's it. That's the truth. Now, here's the part that actually helps you shop. If you're trying to eat less processed food, natural flavors is one of the easiest shortcuts to spot ultra-processed design. Not always, but often. Whole foods don't need natural flavors. An apple tastes like an apple. A real onion tastes like an onion. A plain yogurt tastes like yogurt. When you see natural flavors, it often means the product needed help to taste like something, either because the real ingredient content is low, or because the processing stripped flavor out, or because the manufacturer wants the same taste every time, no matter what happens in the supply chain. So if you're trying to clean up your diet, you can use natural flavors as a quick filter. Not because it's poison, but because it's a sign you're in engineered food territory. And if you're not trying to clean up your diet and you just want your food to taste good, fine. But at least stop letting the word natural hypnotize you into thinking you're making a health choice. You now know what natural flavors actually are, a legal category for flavor compounds derived from natural sources, processed into a proprietary blend that's designed for consistency and shelf life, not for your peace of mind. You know why companies use them, how they're made, and why the label is vague on purpose. And most importantly, you know how to read the phrase the right way so you don't get played by two words ever again. If you want more ingredient translations like this, like the video, subscribe, share it with the person who thinks natural means clean, and comment what label phrase you want decoded next.